Hey there, it's Sam. Welcome to my training vlog. I'm an active duty U.S. Navy senior chief and a powerlifter, and I'm at the end of week 5 of a 6-week shred with RP. Okay, so end of week 5. I wish I could feel better about things, but I'm actually in the same place that I was last week. So a whole lot of nothing has happened except I started my period. So if there was any concern in my head about why things were going the way they did last week and why they're going the way they are this week, I would attribute it a lot to my period, some to going back to work, and my maintaining at the 85% adherence range. So things might have gone better, if I were in the 90%, if I were trying a little harder, but I do have to attribute some of this probably to my period. RP does a podcast and they talk about not going too hard on yourself and not trying to compensate for your menstruation weeks. Unfortunately for me, my stuff's all over the place. I have a birth control implant. I forget what they're called, but it's good for 3 years. For some people, it's supposed to help. I don't know. Some people lose their period completely. Some people have reported that it made things worse for them. For me, I don't know. I guess things stayed just as abnormal as they always are. So I can't necessarily pin down when my period's going to happen. Whereas, I guess someone who's like functioning optimally could look at the month and be like, if I'm on a 6-week diet, I'm going to be impacted for these 2 weeks out of the diet. It's going to happen. That's not the case for me. I can never be sure when things are going to go and how real it's going to be that time. So I got my period on Tuesday, I think, because I was all relieved come like Tuesday, Wednesday, thinking that, here we go. This is why I plateaued. So all week I've just been going through the motions, but here I am Sunday and still going strong. So I guess we're going to go for 2 weeks maybe. Maybe this past week was just a warm up and then this week is the real thing, which is going to screw me into the end of my diet. So I'm a little jaded, I'm a little angry and emotional. It is what it is, I guess. Oh, to be a woman. So knowing that my weight didn't change again all week, the RP diet again wanted to cut my carbs. And this time I said no. I want to repeat the same week because we know, and then based on their podcast, you don't need to make drastic changes based on your menstruation. So between that and my own adherence or lack of adherence that I would acknowledge, I decided to keep the same levels as last week, which is still sub 100 carbs, which sucks, but I'm making do. And there were days this week where I accomplished it, but it was tough. So I'm finding that I'm having to mark myself down more. So far my score is still hanging out in the 80s, but this last week is going to be the push and I'm not sure how it's going to go. We'll see. Alright, so confession time now that we're talking about adherence scores. I had a cheat day on Monday that was planned, the 4th of July. Had a great time. We went on like a dinner boat cruise. That was wonderful. Had a second cheat day on Friday that was not as planned. Went to the movies again. Need to stop doing that when I'm dieting. But, movies in the summertime, it's like all the big things are rolling out. And it's just such a fun thing to do. And I don't have to get the snacks, but you go to the movie, I'm missing out on good times. I don't know. It's my own bad decision making, okay? So 2 major cheat days and then 1 high carb day that I'll show my chart for. That's how I did. And because we talked about it last week with the correlation between my higher carb or my cheat days and my lifting, for Monday and the other high carb day, which was kind of in the middle of the week, I had a major lift immediately following both of those. And I PR'd both things this week. I PR'd squat and I PR'd my bench. And the bench was like, man, I was so excited about that one. And I'm still really amped up about that bench. So it's like, as bad as I feel about overeating on Monday, even though I really didn't, I was pretty good. It's just over what the restrictions are right now. But I did awesome in the gym. So, you know, there's give and take, I guess. You have to choose your fate. And I chose strength. The one thing that probably didn't go bad this week was my measurement. I took a measurement, and I think last week I was already close to 34, but I might have been over 34 or like 34.5. I'm not sure. I gotta look back, but I'm at 34 inches for sure. There's no, like, I'm not squeezing it. I'm at 34 inches, so I feel really good about that. I hit cardio hard all week and walking back and forth to work, and then I've been going to the gym before the later work days. I was very good on my activity this week. I got one Orange Theory fitness class in, unfortunately not two like I would prefer. I didn't get any bike sessions in either, but my step counts, my energy expenditure was really good all week. So I think that's contributing to the measurement, and I don't feel bad about it. I'm happy about that. Alright, so the scale, weight, the measurement, the meal adherence issues, gym PRs, talked about everything that has happened this week in my period. What does that leave me for this last week? I'm going to try so hard, I swear to God, I am going to adhere to the macros that were prescribed. I'm going to be doing cardio every day. I'm going to do a little bit of excess water intake, I think, the beginning of this week. Not a full-blown water cut, just I'm going to try to kind of counteract the period weight. And then the end of the week is my official weigh-in for the Navy and my last weigh-in for RP Diet. So everything's coming together at once. The last weigh-in for everything is on Friday, and I want to be as good as I can. Coming into this week is also a deload in the gym, so I'm not going to be putting a whole lot of like heavy weights on. There shouldn't be any muscle stuff, retaining water, holding water, muscle damage, causing inflation, anything like that. There's really light weights in the gym for deload. Everything should be converging at once to create the best possible outcome. The other thing is, after my last heavy day last week, which was like Wednesday, I stopped taking creatine and any of my pre-workout supplements, so I'll be 1 week removed, actually like 7 or 8 days removed from creatine. I don't know if it's going to be a good enough gap to actually help me out, but maybe it will. I'm doing everything I can to set us up for next week. The last piece to all of this, Friday next week is going to be the weigh-in, and I'm going to get taped. So my final measurement and my final weigh-in before I start a maintenance phase. But the last piece to all of this, to get a full assessment, I am going to get a Dexa Scan. And the Dexa Scan will be my true, no shit, did we make a difference or not? Because weight-wise, especially the way things are going, if I stay like 170 or higher, I really didn't come down too much in a 6-week period. However, I will have cut off 1.5 to 2 inches on my waistline, and I PR'd things in the gym. So there were impacts made, just not on the scale where I feel the most about results or no results. So I am disappointed at the end of this, but not heartbroken. And obviously I'm making an assumption right now, but I really, based on my waistline measurements reducing and my strength still going good, I have a certain feeling about how the Dexa Scan will go. Even if it's like marginal, that would still be a win because it's a composition shift. And then we tackle maintenance phase and not gaining weight while being able to increase calories, and that terrifies me. I'm really scared because it never works out. And then the next thing would be another cut where we work harder for weight reduction, because at the end of the day, I want to be in the 50s or low 60s, mostly in the 50s, I think, is where my 5'4" frame is the healthiest. So that's the goal at the end of things, but I think the Dexa is going to wrap this up nicely. That's it for this week's check-in. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. I'm trying not to feel like a failure because my measurements are still trending downward, but it's pretty tough. It's tough to ignore the scale, and it's tough to not feel defeated by my own body. My own body is not on track with me and what's going on, and when I think things are gonna taper down, they're not. I'm still going. Like, turn it off. We're still going. So it is what it is. I can't fight what's happening. Hopefully things turn around and this isn't all a waste. It's not all a waste. See you guys later.